So here's our control panel. We're going to start by turning that on, and it's just plugged into a regular 110 120 outlet. And you'll notice on the video these look like they're flashing. That's because of the refresh rate of these screens and the video recording frame rate. So in real life, I promise you, these aren't flashing like this crazy. I see 60.3 set to 168 and 59.4 set to 140. So we'll just walk through all the controls and sort of how they work first, and then we'll run a water cycle through. So to set a valve position, you've got all these electronic valves throughout the hard plumbing on the base of the brew house. So to set a position, everything would be in the off position, and then you would say, okay, I want to loop my hot liquor tank, and you turn that on, and then you'd hit set position, and everything sets. So now it's set to just loop hot liquor tank. If you want to loop the mash tun at the same time, you turn it on, set position, and it's set. And we'll go ahead and go through those with a hot water cycle like I mentioned. The other things you're going to see on this control panel are pump 1, which you can hear on, pump 2, which you hear on, and then your burners, and it's going to be up for automatic temperature and then down for manual, which means just on. And that only applies to burners A and B, which is hot liquor tank and mash tun. For the brew kettle, we're not going to really control that. We just want it to go as hot as we can get it and size we can get it. So we're just going to have a manual position for that burner. So I'm going to start by getting our pilot lights lit down here on all these burners, and start running some water here into the hot liquor tank, and we'll go from there. So to get our pilot lights lit, we're going to turn the gas on, and we're going to give it a little bit of pressure here, like, I don't know, 5 psi, maybe not even that much, probably only needs to be 2 or 3. But we're going to come down to our gas units here, and we're going to go to pilot all these, and you'll be able to hold this down, and I won't be able to do this one-handed, but I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to light that pilot light right there, and I'll come back and show it to you. You're going to do that on the eventually all 3, but I normally just start with the first 2 on the hot liquor tank and mash tun, and then come back for the brew kettle when we transfer over. Okay, so we got both pilot lights going. They just stay on pilot. The pilot always stays lit rather, and then once it is lit and it's going, you're just gonna switch this to the on position on both of these. Okay, so there, our pilots are just both going. And I've filled the hot liquor tank with water. You can see our groundwater's about 70 degrees right now. And we're gonna go ahead and set the temperature. And again, I apologize that you're not able to see this in person with the refresh rate on here, but I'm gonna go ahead, it's set to 168. I'm just gonna leave that there, and then I'm gonna turn on this burner to automatic. And you'll note that it's gonna kick on, the burners are gonna kick on right away because it's not at 168. Now, the temperature probe is actually right here on my circulation piping, and you could technically put that anywhere you want. If you want to put another port on here like I have on the mash tun, you could very simply. I just, I like it on the hot liquor that's pulling out of the base from the dip tube in here to go through and set our temp on our hot liquor tank. I found that works pretty good, but again, you really could put it anywhere you want, and then if you wanted to bring this tube straight to this ball valve and eliminate this. But I added this because I find it to be the best setup. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure this ball valve's open. We're gonna make sure that hot liquor tank is up, all the rest are down, because that's the only thing we want. Set the position, it's already set. Go ahead and turn on pump 1, It's gonna start pulling water, and there's our recirculation. Now you're gonna start pulling the real temp water out of the hot liquor tank to pass by, and you're gonna see it's starting to go up. It's 69.7, 69.8, so it's slowly going up already. Now you got it's a good blue flame. It looks just right to me right now, but if you really want to crank it up, you can control directly from the propane tank. So we're going to go ahead and let that circulate and come up to temp here. All right, we've been heating here for a couple minutes now. Again, I'm not going to bring it all the way up to 168 just because we're just running water through here and I don't want to burn a bunch of gas for no reason. But you'll see we're at 82.2 right now, 82.3. It's slowly climbing. I want to show you how you can adjust the set temp. So this was at 168. I just rolled it down to 83, and all you do is up and down and then over. If you want to get to the like 83, I can adjust just the 3, over to the 8. Real simple, plug and play, hit set. So it's set at 83. We're at 82.6. I'm going to show you how this is regulated on both the hot liquor tank and the mash tun. Here we go. It's 82.8, 82.9. So here we go. We're going to hit temp in just a second. Okay. There. Oh, not yet. There you go. See it? You'll see it just kicked off. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set a new position to transfer from the hot liquor tank to the mash tun. So I'm going to do that by turning this off, turning this on. Let me turn the pump off for a second. Set the position. Okay, all the valves are set, and then let's make sure this is all good. Everything's open. So we're going to go ahead and turn on pump 1, and there you go. Now we're pulling hot liquor out of here and bringing it up into the top of our mash tun. Over a couple things. Everything is silicone grade, high temp tubing, which I really like because it makes things really easy to clean. You can roll the tubing up and put it in one of your vessels. Real easy to get creative if you need to move one hose to a different spot for some reason. We've got 2 chugger pumps, both with the stainless pump heads on them. Everything below the top half of the plumbing is all hard plumbed with stainless steel 1/2 inch plumbing. Everything is 3/16 1/2 inch cam lock fittings pretty much everywhere. You can take everything apart. Again, just cam lock fittings everywhere. So you can take everything apart and clean it if you need to. You got a actual end valve here if you want to, for some reason, move fluids through the end of this. And then you've got 2 heat exchangers here that are piggybacked, and that wart that comes cooled is going to come out of the stainless dip tube, or the stainless tube here, and go right into your fermenter, and you'll be able to read that temp coming out on this gauge here. But we'll get there. All right, so now we've got that hot liquor tank just above the temp probe, so it's actually picking up a temp on our gauge here. And of course I've got the analog backups. Gotta have a redundant system. I do a combination of both. I get in here with a mash paddle, break up the dough balls and everything a little bit, mash a little bit, make sure we got a consistent temperature throughout the mash, and then I recirculate a good bit, especially towards the end of the mash, to get a good grain bed, start clarifying my wort. So in that process, I'm going to want my hot liquor tank to be circulating and my mash tun to be circulating on and off maybe. So what I would do is top off my hot liquor tank at this point, and then I would go ahead and set my positions to loop hot liquor tank and loop mash tun. Set the position. Okay, it's set. Open. Okay, pump 1. Boom, we're recirculating. Pump 2. Boom, we're recirculating. So these are both closed, right? Individual systems. This is recirculating. This is recirculating. I actually have a schematic written out so that you know which pumps and which valves do what. Yeah, so that'll be circulating. Just gonna come in here and cam lock fitting. Flash it on there. Okay, it's fixed. And so let's say we had our mash and we are starting to transfer our wort to our brew kettle. I will show you how I am sparging from the hot liquor tank to the mash tun at the same time. So turn off pump one. What we're going to do is we're going to go both off on those, right? We're going to go, we're moving hot liquor tank to mash tun and mash tun to brew kettle at the same time. Set position. Okay, it's set. All right, so now we're ready. So what we're going to do is I'll show you sparge first. Now we're moving liquids. Good. We got active sparge going on, and then we're also going to move wort. All right, so while our brew kettle's filling, you can see it's 30-gallon SS304 stainless steel. Just do a quick overview of the back. You've got access to all the pumps and gas lines and electronics under here, and in these boxes we've got the relays for the set positions. So, and then obviously access to the burners underneath, which is pretty simple. And I've just got this drip pan. These are all in waterproof cases, but I've got a drip pan to just kind of be the extra protection. Moving into the brew kettle, you can see we've got a dam down there for a whirlpool. Just kind of keep Trube from getting into the exit valve there. Get that pilot going. Turn on the brew kettle for a second, let it burn for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and move that fluid through the heat exchanger. Show you how I do that, and into a ferment. Okay, so I got that pilot going down there, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead and turn off these other pilots just because we're not gonna use these anymore. So to turn these off, you're just going from on all the way over to off, on, all the way to off. Okay, those puppies are done, and hey, I'm gonna start getting that boil going. So again, with the third burner on the brew kettle, there's no need to have a temp set. We're just gonna go on. So we're gonna flip down. Got a nice burn going under there, and we're actually still pulling fluid from, well, mash tun's about done, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that pump off. Okay, so now our brew kettle will get going here. And hey, I'm going to show you how to run this through the heat exchanger. Okay, so there is two heat exchangers here. It's dual stage. One is a recirculating to save water, and the other is a direct from groundwater or hose. Honestly, they both could be run by hose water, and they both could be done through recirculation. I just have it set up this way. You can easily change it, but what we're going to do, as soon as I pull all the water out from this dip tube, I'm going to fill this up with groundwater. You could put ice in here if you need to, but you really don't need to. I'm in Alabama where the groundwater is between 72 and 82 degrees all year, and I'm still able to cool enough. But you could honestly put ice in here if you wanted to for the recirc loop. And then the hose is going to go directly through into this one here. And then the exit for that is this hose that's not hard plumb, but already wired in. Okay, so I went ahead and just turned the heat off and set this stop position, turn the gas off on the tank. And so just to show what's going on, I've got the groundwater hooked up to the bottom plate chiller or heat exchanger. You can see the exits right there. And then the top one is going to be recirculating loop that's pulled from the hot liquor tank. And with that recirculation, it's awesome because I keep that water, and then I can add PBW, or I can add sanitizer and run it through the system when I'm done with that water I already used to cool with. And then also with these heat exchangers, again, super simple to take apart and clean. I've always got sanitizer sitting in these, so it's ready to go. But you can take this off. It's got a cam lock on here. Clean the valves and the piping, and then otherwise it's just a matter of opening it up, and you're gonna get that hot wort coming out from the brew kettle. And again, one is already running, we're going to get that second one running by we're going to set to cold crash. Right, we're going to set, and it's already set in position. And then we're going to use pump 1 to do that. And it's going to start pumping through there. So your hot water's just going to come out here right into your carboys or whatever your fermentation vessel is, and that's it. That's how simple this system is.